What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, Solana just saw an absolutely amazing milestone that I genuinely believe is another testament to how much trust people actually have in Solana. No matter what the Twitter comments or the YouTube comments say, it just goes to show, and again, that people genuinely do love this ecosystem and are continuously becoming more and more a part of it, which will make sense in a second. And so in today's video, we're going to talk about what this milestone was and why I think it's substantial. Then I'm going to tell you about a pretty cool opportunity that I think you should take advantage of. And then, of course, lastly, we're going to take a look at Solana's charts just to get a feel for what its price is doing. So with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into this milestone. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to be on DeFi Llama. Now, DeFi Llama allows us to see the current TVL for Solana. Now, your question may be, what is TVL? TVL is a metric used to measure the total value of digital assets that are locked or staked in a particular decentralized finance platform or decentralized application. The higher the TVL, the more trustworthy the platform or DApp is perceived to be. And so that means that people are locking away, they're staking away their crypto, staking away their Solana, staking away their Solana-based tokens, and not really being able to access them without paying pretty big fees. And so what this tells us is that, again, as I said, the more the TVL grows, the higher it gets, the more trustworthy, because more people are trusting that ecosystem to not just collapse or die or whatever it may be. Now, what you can see here is that just yesterday, Solana saw for the first time in almost 2 years, its TVL cross $2 billion. Now, of course, at the peak, we saw this thing at around $10 billion, but that doesn't change anything, right? The fact that now we are now starting to see that change, we're starting to see that TVL consistently grow and grow and grow, is a testament to show that people are trusting Solana more and more. I think the fact that we did see Solana's outage happen and it recovered that quickly, and it was the first time that it happened, even though everything was happening on chain from Myro and Bonk and Jupe and all these things, it made people trust it more that Solana is progressing. They are making better steps. They are growing. And again, this is a sign of that. And considering, like I said before, the last time we saw a $2 billion TVL was way back here in June of 2022, on the way down after everything that happened with Luna Classic and everything that was happening with Celsius and all that stuff. The fact that we're already recapturing some of those levels is an amazing sign to me. And I do believe that there will be a day where we will see Solana's TVL surpass its previous all-time high at around 10 billion. And I can only just envision what in the world can happen to its price if that does happen, and if we do see the ecosystem continuously growing in that direction, right? We see crypto gaming, which I'm actually going to tell you about something like that in a second. We see crypto gaming on the horizon. I do believe that Solana is going to be one of the kind of leading participants of that movement, because they're going to onboard and home so many different GameFi projects. We see things like that mixed in with the Bitcoin halving that will trickle into altcoins. Interest rates. We see, of course, a more risk-on environment, or more risk-on friendly environment coming soon here. Solana fits the bill perfectly. And so because of all of these things, this is an amazing milestone. In my opinion, it is a milestone that I genuinely believe is important, and it is something that I keep up on. Now, I just was talking about GameFi, and I actually wanted to tell you about a little opportunity before we do talk about what is happening with Solana's price, because it's actually really interesting what's happening with Solana's price as well. But what I will tell you about real quick is what I've done recently with My Lovely Planet. Now, this is a company that I did partner up with because they are actually offering something pretty damn interesting for my community. Now, what they are is they are a GameFi application, or they are just a Web3 game. Now, what you can see here is, if you just kind of look at the screen right here, they are kind of not necessarily your typical game, but they have many features of your normal game. Now, the cool part about what they're doing is that they're actually going to be taking the revenue generated from the game through ads and using some of that revenue to invest back into planting trees and helping things with the environment. Now, interestingly enough, they are actually being backed and founded by Ubisoft. And if you don't know who they are, you're not a gamer, in my opinion, because Ubisoft was a part of Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Just Dance, Prince of Persia, the Tom Clancy franchise, which was huge, Watch Dogs, The Crew, Trackmania, and Rayman. Huge games. And the fact that they're now backing these guys tells me that there could be a lot of potential here. Now, on top of the backing by Ubisoft, another thing you have to consider is that they are being backed and supported by some of the biggest people in this industry. They have some of the designers and developers from Candy Crush. They have the owner and the person who created Sandbox, which obviously is one of the most notable Web3 GameFi metaverse cryptos that there has ever been. He's even supporting them. He's investing into the project. The CEO is someone that's been a part of multiple successful ventures, some of them generating millions, if not tens of millions of dollars of revenue. And meaning, with all that said, it's not surprising that the platform and the game itself already has over 20,000 users on a consistent basis. It's because of the people that they have backing them to support the knowledge and the experience that is going into this. Now, what they're currently in their pre-sale phase still, they have already raised $2.6 million, and they are in the price increasing pre-sale structure. But what's cool about it is that you can currently buy this thing at less than the actual price that it's going to launch at. You can buy it at 0.08 or a little bit over 8 cents, and you can of course see that it is going to be launching at 10 cents. Now what's interesting is that they gave us the opportunity on the channel to offer you 10% extra tokens, which reduces your average cost even more, and which meaning you can get roughly a 20% discount on the token price itself when it does launch, which I thought was pretty cool. So I do have a link down in the description below. They are going to be big in my opinion because of the backing and because of the funds that they do have, and so it's all about just kind of seeing how this is going to go when their native token does go live. So with that in mind, I wanted to just tell you about that opportunity because I thought it was pretty cool. And if you do want to take advantage of that 10%, all you need to do is click the buy now button. You can press register, enter in your information, and then in your invitation code just type in TYLERHILL, all caps, and you'll have access to that extra 10% off. But with that in mind, again, I just wanted to show you that because I genuinely believe that there's a lot of potential, and they offered such a pretty damn good discount to any of the members of our community. So go check it out down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. And of course, let's go now into what Solana's doing and how its price is reacting, because it's definitely getting very interesting. So what we can see is, again, Solana does seem as if it is putting in what I would say is a head and shoulders pattern, currently with its breakdown point being right around $104. Now, as you can see here, if I do just go ahead and draw it out for you, it does seem as if we have that left shoulder here, that head here, and your right shoulder here, which is rather concerning, at least in the short term, in my opinion. Currently, the breakdown target for this thing is now looking like, if we take the breakdown target and apply it to the bottom of the breakdown zone, it looks like we could see a possible move towards about $92 for Solana, which does align beautifully with this previous point of support and resistance in which we saw back here. Now, although that is rather concerning, and although there is the possibility that Solana will fall another 10%, I'm honestly not all too worried. I still think that everything that's happening in the macro is huge. I think what's happening with its TVL is huge, and at the end of the day, I am going to continue to quite simply just dollar cost average at the best times possible. Now, we did actually just get the first flash this month on the 4-hour charts from HillGrowthAgency. You guys know HillGrowthAgency is the indicator my company designed that gives you the best times to be dollar cost averaging into any cryptos that you know of. And as you can see here, historically, it's given us just over this year some beautiful moments to DCA before we saw, of course, this beautiful run to the upside. We did just see this first 4-hour flash for the DCA signal, which historically means that this is a good time to be entering in on the 4-hour charts. And so because of that, although yes, we could see the possibility of a price pull to the downside, with everything going on in the macro, I am still DCAing, and I did do a pretty big purchase this morning because we did get this HillGrowthAgency DCA Plus feature flashing. Now, if you want to use HillGrowthAgency yourself, you can. The link is down in the description, and you can get it for 20% off since this is the launch month, the Genesis month. So go check that out. Again, my company did design it, and I do all of my investing based off of it. So again, the link's down there for you. But overall, like I mentioned before, yes, although we could see Solana's price pull back towards $91 or $92, I'm just going to keep DCAing into this thing because I do think we're going to hit $500 to $1,000 one day, and I'm just waiting for it to happen. So with that in mind, that is going to be it for today's update. Of course, that was a pretty big milestone that I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. How do you feel about Solana right now? Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you not doing anything? I would love to chit chat with you there. So thank you guys, of course, for always tuning into these videos. I hope you guys do enjoy them, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.